Hey guys, this is Tom. Welcome back to another episode of Fountainhead TV in this new series where I get to talk about my favorite thing in the world, which is music. And I try to share some songs and bands that I really like with you guys, maybe give you some suggestions for stuff that you hadn't checked out otherwise, and just try to find the things that make this music tick and that maybe separate this music from other music and this song from other songs, and just make it educational as we go along. So today I'm going to be focusing on a song by one of my favorite bands in the world, and those who know me well know that I have a knack for stadium rock bands and for bands that are just creating this larger than life arena rock sound, and the band is Biffy Clyro. Now, Biffy Clyro are, the classic example of a band that just played its way to the top. I mean, they have been touring constantly, releasing music constantly. They have been upping their game, with every song, with every album, with every tour, ever since they started out as sort of like a grungy Nirvana type rock free piece. And I think by now they are one of the greatest rock trios of all time. So I picked the song Bubbles, which is a little bit older, and that's kind of like off the lead single of the album, or like the second lead single of the album that like broke them, especially in Europe. And if you listen to the song, it's just one of the best examples I can think of. And in fact, I have been using it in my teaching sometimes. It's one of the best examples for how to compose music and write songs without wasting a single idea. What I like the most in songwriting is when people, when you can tell that the band or the artist has been written a song from a single idea, right? If there's very little musical ideas, but then these ideas are so good and so effective, and they are being worked with in such an efficient way that the song doesn't need any more. And I think this is the one thing about Biffy Clyro that always kept me coming back, because their songwriting is so on point and so efficient. It is unreal. So Bubbles, for example, right? It starts off with this little idea, this guitar idea, which is not your typical arena rock guitar riff in itself, because guitar player and singer from Biffy Clyro has a very own thing going on. He has a sound and a playing style that is, I wouldn't say very unconventional, but he's definitely trying different stuff and brings in different techniques and ideas that in that space you wouldn't normally not hear bands do. You certainly wouldn't hear that on a Coldplay album, right? So right off the bat, this song starts with this awesome little riff. And then it just plays one time, gets introduced, and then boom, we're in the song. It's like they waste no time. And then we're in the verse, and the verse is like super basic. It's like, how much more can you distill this thing? It's like simple beat, simple bass line, and then just lots of space for the vocals. And then the way the song progresses is just a masterclass in being super effective with very few elements. If you listen to the song until the 1 minute mark, it's all just verse, and it's so simple. It's just this one note bass line. The beat is super simple, and then he plays these not very complex chords, which are just kind of happy and bouncy, and then vocals and guitars play off of each other. And it just immediately it draws you in, but it's so simple and it has so much space that it also like builds this sense of what's gonna happen with the song, which wouldn't happen if they hadn't opened the song with this like busier guitar theme. So if you open with this like more intricate idea and then just immediately break the song down like to its central elements, you create a sense of anticipation, and this is what they're doing here super well. And if you listen to the song the first time, maybe you're thinking, oh well, this is like boring music. But music is not always about putting everything in it at the same time and hitting you over the head with all your ideas right out of the gate. So it's also about creating anticipation and creating dynamics and making the song a journey. And so when we go to the next part, first of all, after 1 minute, you think, okay, this has got to be the chorus, right? Because now the guitar idea from the intro comes back. When the guitar melody from the beginning comes back, you can't help but think, okay, this has got to be the chorus. Now it's getting big, and it certainly suddenly we have all this movement. The guitar is busy, then there's a busier vocal line with different chords, and everything just it opens up, right? From the very simple subdued verse, now it just builds, and immediately you have this nice symmetry where from the intro now we're bringing the guitar line back, and it just all makes sense. And most bands would leave it at that, but Biffy Clyro, instead of then going back into the verse, we go back into another part, and that turns out to be the chorus, and then it gets bigger, and then it just explodes with the distorted guitars and the epic vocal line and like the trade-off vocals, and it's just a masterclass in like this plateau building. And especially like this double chorus thing I like very much, and Biffy Clyro are masters at that, where they will be presenting a part and you think, okay, this is big, this has got to be the chorus, but then there's another part and this is the chorus, which is even bigger. And you have to realize that you can only do this successfully if you create these plateaus of anticipation and information. So if you start big, you don't have very much ability to go up in terms of intensity and size. But if you start small, you can go up and up and up and up. And this is something that, especially in metal, a lot of people forget, and they will start a song and immediately you have 12 distorted guitars, and you have like sweeping guitar leads, and you have like tons of vocal layering. And then the question is, where do you go from that? Where can you take the song where it just keeps on delivering? And this is where a lot of bands fail in songwriting. It's not in coming up with interesting ideas, but it's when they try to arrange these ideas in such a way that they take the listener on a journey from start to finish and just keep delivering the goods in terms of payoff. Every song part has to be emotional payoff for the listener. If it's going to be, it has to be a really good song. And so this is a masterclass in that. And also note that after 1 minute of verse and intro, we have, like, for pre-chorus and chorus, there's symmetry. There's another minute. So we have 1 minute of the verse and 1 minute for the big pre-chorus and chorus. So this is an interesting symmetry here as well. When we go back into the verse, and then back into the pre-chorus and back into the chorus, what's interesting here is that even though there's certain changes, like the verse 2 is obviously a lot shorter than verse 1, and then in the chorus there's more harmonies and it just gets a tiny bit bigger, but essentially the music is the same overall. And that is not such a common thing if you think about it, because again, like music, pop music like that, or arena rock music, always works in delivering a bigger and bigger and bigger impact over the course of the song. So people always strive to make every part bigger than the last. Now, there's many different ways to do that, and Biffy Clyro certainly do that here as well, but it's kind of relatively subdued. There's not bigger changes, there's not suddenly like an orchestra coming in, which is because they are really aware, I think, about when an idea has overstayed their welcome. So Biffy Clyro, they rarely have songs over 4.5 or 5 minutes. And if they do, that's for a very particular reason. Like, for example, it's like the album opening track, and it has like an extended intro that builds anticipation for the entire album. But like the songs itself, they're all very concise, and they are masters at just gauging when it's just time to repeat shit and just have a good idea speak for itself. And again, this is, I think, something that a lot of bands can take a hint from, because it's not always about keeping things fresh all the time. And oftentimes it's just a good idea to just repeat something that is so well written and arranged that you need to hear it again to fully appreciate it. So in this case, verse, pre-chorus and second chorus are basically the same. And another reason for that is that afterwards they don't follow the same old pop format where it's like verse, chorus, and there's the C part, the bridge, and then another chorus till the end. So this is very interesting for a song that is like this simple and catchy, deceptively simple, I should say, and catchy, is that now after the second chorus, they go into a completely different section. So in this, you could call it bridge, you could call it outro section, whatever it is, things just change, and suddenly you go from this very simple and uplifting pop tune to a polyrhythmic 7/8 guitar figure, which is against the 4/4 feel. And the musical ideas are vaguely familiar. They're connected to the earlier parts of the song, but they're fresh. They don't have a reference point. They haven't created a reference point early in the song. So this section just hits you by surprise. But at the same time, it just has enough connection to what happened earlier, so that it could just be a bridge. But instead of just being a bridge, it builds and it explodes into these screaming guitars at the end. And in true Biffy Clyro fashion, they just end the song with that, because again, they're masters at figuring out what the song needs, and then just calling it a day when the song has the right amount of information and parts. And this is it. It's like tiny little intro, establishing the guitar theme, then super simple verse, a pre-chorus which already feels like a chorus, an even bigger chorus which sounds massive since they have been building it up so well, going back to the verse, a little bit shorter, again to the pre-chorus, again to the chorus, delivering the goods once again with minimal effort, and then showing their musical muscles in a very effective and not that flashy way with this extended outro, which they create like a companion piece to the very poppy song, with this part where they show, okay, we are a band and we can play, but we show our muscles here in a way that is complementary to the song, and it also doesn't overstay its welcome. Let me just quickly check how long this outro part is. Again, remember, you had a minute of intro and verse, and then you had a minute of pre-chorus and chorus, and then you had maybe 1.5 minutes of, let's say you had 30 seconds of verse, just roughly, then another minute of pre-chorus and chorus, and then 1 minute of this musical outro. So it has a very nice symmetry, and everything about it just seems perfectly in place, at least to me. And this is the genius of Biffy Clyro. Their songwriting is just so effective and so on point. And they do this. They're able to do this in a lot of different formats. You know, whether it is a acoustic piece, or an electronic song, or straight upbeat rock song, or more of a like intricate metal-ish, proggy-ish piece. Then they have a lot of them in their back catalog. Whether it's guitar driven or vocal driven or electronics driven, they always do that. They always have this compelling sense of how many ideas they should be fitting into a song and when to stop. And I think this is something that we can all take a hint from. And diving into Biffy Clyro's back catalog, even if you're not like an arena rock guy, it will just be like a treasure trove of interesting stuff, because every song is a little bit different. Every time on each of their records, they experiment with different formats and sounds and arrangements, so they're never really just resting on their laurels, even though being one of the biggest rock bands in the world right now. And I'm just such a big fan of this band for those reasons and more. But I'll leave it at that for today with Biffy Clyro, Bubbles. Amazing song, amazing band. I hope I could maybe turn one or two of you onto this kind of stuff. So I'll be back next time. Don't forget to leave comments if you disagree, if you agree, or if you have maybe a song that you would like me to react to in this way, and give my 2 cents to. I'll leave it in comments. Like, subscribe, the usual. I appreciate that to keep the channel growing. So thank you for listening. Till next time. Bye bye.